Your business isn't failing because you're aiming too high. It's failing because you're aiming too low. Stay tuned and let's get into it. So recently I had entered this new season of my life. And you know how it is when you enter new seasons? Everything is chaotic and rocky. You're feeling disoriented. You don't know what to really do with yourself. So when I had entered that new season, every system that I had put in place was failing. Whatever I was doing, I had recognized very speedily that I couldn't do it that way anymore. And I noticed that I had been coddling myself. I wasn't demanding more of myself. So I was mismanaging the season at the start. Now it really dawned on me. I had an eureka moment. And I realized this. Janelle, you have to raise your standards. And then I thought about you, kingdom entrepreneur, struggling in your business and trying to figure out why is it we're not scaling? We're doing everything that we can, but nothing is working. Well, today, my job is to give you the clarity that you've been struggling to find. This is the truth. You want more, but you've kept your standard too low. You want more, but you've kept your standard too low. Now, let me tell you what confirmed that I needed to speak about this. Yesterday, I had a group coaching session with my coaching mentor, and he was talking about this. He literally said that you're struggling to reach your goals because you haven't raised the standard. And I said, what are the chances that he's literally talking about something that I had been dealing with for the past 2 weeks? And I really had to come on here to really help somebody, help you unlock your mind and really begin to figure this thing out with your business. Now, this is the thing. Failing is inevitable, but the level you fail at is optional. Failing is inevitable. We will all fail. But do you know what we won't all do? We won't fail at the same level. Some people will fail higher. Others will keep failing at the same level. And I'm asking you, has your business been failing at the very same level? Meaning you've been only getting the same 5 clients. You've been only generating the same 5 figures in revenue. Because you're setting a higher goal, but somehow you're failing to the level of the standard that you have not raised. To get more from your business, you have to demand more from your business and you have to put more into your business. You cannot get more doing less. And oftentimes, I've seen this. Let me tell you, I've been a culprit. I've done this. I've wanted more doing less. It does not work. It has never worked. It will never work. You have to get to that point where you demand more of your business. A higher standard comes at a cost. Are you willing to pay the price? A higher standard, creating a higher standard for your business comes at a cost. And my question to you is, are you willing to pay the price? Because you're going to have to pay it. Your last breakthrough should become your current baseline. Your last breakthrough should become your current baseline. Now, I know you're thinking, Gil, what? I just had a 6-figure day. You're trying to tell me I should aim for 6-figure days? Yes. Why not? You just achieved a result that you never had. But I don't want you to focus on, I never had it. I only had it once. I want you to focus on, you did it. How did you achieve it? Many times we don't study how we succeed. And I always say success is never a fluke. I don't believe success is a fluke. What I do believe is that we can succeed being completely oblivious as to why we did. But it's not a fluke. You've had to have followed some law of the universe, some kingdom law, as we call it, in Christian spaces, you've had to follow perhaps the law of diligence, the law of honor, the law of favor, the law of relationships, the law of patience, the law of sowing and reaping. You had to have followed a law for that success to have happened to you. Now I'm saying to you, you can't get to a level of mastery and you can't get to the level of scaling your business when you keep failing at the same level. And number two, when you have results you cannot replicate. You have to be able to replicate those results. So let me ask you a few questions. What's your highest performing product or service over the last month? What was your highest performing product or service over the last month? Number two, what did you do to achieve that? And I don't want you to tell me I didn't do anything. Let me tell you something. People who do nothing do not get results. You may not be aware of what you have done, but I promise you there is something that you did. What did you do? Study it. Number three, what if we would make that result that you just had the minimum and no longer the milestone? So you sold 10 journals, right, last month. Now, the minimum number of journals you should sell this month is 10. Because if you sold 10 journals last month and you go back to defaulting to, I just only want 5 journals sold, that is not growth. That is not growth. If you sold 10 last month, you should set the standard for 10 this month, but perhaps set the goal for 15 or 20. Are you understand the principle I'm teaching you? Because this is how you grow systematically and sequentially. And this is how you push yourself to make little movements, little tweaks, as my coaching mentor says, that lead to giant peaks. Little tweaks lead to giant peaks. So you have to just switch sometimes one thing to now let the goal that you just hit last month become the standard for this month. Now, I want to give you a little exercise. You're going to list your current products and services. List everything. And you're going to define your goal for delivery. So if you have journals, you're going to say how much. The goal, remember, the goal is the ceiling, the standard is the floor. Goal is the ceiling, the standard is the floor. The goal is what you're aiming for, the standard is the least you will accept. The goal is the ceiling, the standard is the floor. The goal is what you're aiming for, the standard is the least you will accept, right? So you define your goal for delivery, which is the ceiling, right? And then I want you to evaluate your current progress. So your greatest and least achievements. Like, where are you right now? On par with that goal. Are you anywhere at all? Are you getting somewhere? Where are you? And then the fourth thing, I want you to make your highest result the new minimum, right? Which is the standard. And then I want you to commit to that standard consistently. Now, I know you may be thinking, this is really, really a stretch. This is a leap of faith, right? And I know you may be there thinking, Janelle, this is a bit of a leap of faith. Well, let me teach you why it's not so big of a leap and why this will actually work. Number one, you've done it before, which means it is possible. So the fact that you're questioning what I'm telling you is a negative mindset and it's a poverty mindset. We only think abundant mindset here. So you've done it before. It is possible. Therefore, all we're trying to do is replicate it. And I don't like the word try, so exit that. All we're doing, we're not trying. All we're doing is learning to replicate it. So you can't just get excited and gung-ho Joe when you get good results. We have to understand the dynamics of repeating it. Number two, you'll see progress. You'll actually see progress. Tangible progress. You don't always have to be squinting and punching numbers to see if things are working in the business or not, because you know for sure whether it's working or not, because I made the goal of last month the standard of this month. Number three, you're going to train your business to operate at a new level. Your business requires training. And I remember when that thought came to me, I said training, because that was the word I used. You have to train the business to succeed. It doesn't come here succeeding. It has the potential to, but you need to train it to actually do what it has potential to do. Number 4, and you begin to normalize what once felt impossible. You have to let the impossible become your new normal. Otherwise, you will never succeed. You have to learn to let the impossible become your new normal. Otherwise, you will never succeed. So I want you to remember these few things. Standards shape outcomes. Standards shape outcomes. Number 2, progress is failing at a higher standard. Unlock your mind for a second. Progress is failing at a higher standard. I know when we talk to people about progress, we often talk about the accomplishment of a goal. But I want to rework your mind and show you that you are progressing in your business if you are failing at a higher standard. You are. And that's an excellent way to measure progress. Number 3, consistency at your peak creates momentum at your core. So when you begin to become consistent at the peak of last month, something is changing. The core of your business is changing. Revenue is changing. The way you generate products is changing. The way you handle supply and demand, it's all changing because you've learned to be consistent. Next one. Build the stairway to success, one standard at a time. I'm being very taboo here. I'm not talking about goals at all. I'm talking about standards. I want you to build the stairway to business success, one stairway at a time. I need you to make excellence a default and not just a desire. Your business needs to default to excellence. There are businesses, let me tell you, if a customer lodges a complaint, businesses have things so well kept and everything has such a policy that they've guarded against a lower standard. They've guarded against a lower standard. And you need to build your business in such a way that I'm telling you, the default is excellence. The default is excellence. Don't scale chaos, scale clarity. Don't scale chaos, scale clarity. Be very clear about where your business is and where you're taking it and how to get there. Success is a staircase and you climb it one standard at a time. So if you want more, you have to do more. And if you expect more, you must demand more. If you raise the standard of your business, you will raise the results. If you failed before at 10, then you shouldn't fail at 10 again. You should fail at 20. Fail. Fail honorably. Fail often. Fail at a higher standard. You will succeed one raised standard at a time. Now, if this video blessed you, I want you to comment, I want you to share with people. I have some things coming up on the horizon that I want you to stay tuned for because you'll be able to see it and join and participate as we build a community of people who are serious about kingdom business and are kingdom minded. Take care of yourself.